And once again, I want to say greetings to each and every one of you, Aquaba, and welcome. Welcome to another round of the Conscious Rasta Report. Weekday mornings, you and I get together live. We come at you from 9 a.m. Pacific time, at 12 noon Eastern time, 5 p.m. GMT, and 7 p.m. East Africa time. We get together with you and we deal with culture, consciousness, historical perspectives, entertainment, economics, education, health, labor, law, politics, religion, family, conflict, future studies, all areas of human interactivity and development. Today's date is Wednesday, the 18th of September, the year 2024 in the Western calendar. This corresponds to the year 6264 in the Kemetic calendar, to which we have realigned our cultural clock. Welcome to the seventh millennium. You have found your family in a peaceful place. LIB Radio, LIB TV, livinginblack.com is live and direct and in your face. Here's what we have for today's broadcast. Today, we returned to one of my favorite topics here on LIB Radio, as we are now moving into this autumn of another calendar year. We're just, 5 days away from, or 4 days away now from the autumn equinox. We are reminded of a similar autumn in our personal lives. Have we planned and lived a lifetime of health and wellness habits that contribute to healthy lifespan? How many of us have resigned that our senior years are inevitably burdened with chronic ailments, loss of vitality, restricted physical and mental capacity? It is never too late to adopt new habits that increase healthy lifespan. It is never too late to adopt new habits that increase healthy lifespan. In fact, if you ask me, the best time, is the old Chinese proverb. When is, or riddle, I guess you would say, when is the best time to plant a fruit tree? 20 years ago. When is the second best time to plant a fruit tree? Today. I'll drink to that. So we are planting that fruit tree. We are sowing the roots into fertile ground with today's broadcast about healthy life extending habits. We've talked about this so many times here on LIB Radio. As you know, many of you know, I have written 2 books on the topic of healthy life expectancy. In fact, more than 2 books, but 2 very specific books on that theme, on that title. The first of which is entitled Living Superfood Longevity. In fact, here I have the image I'll show you of the books. Share the screen. And that screen is this window. Living Superfood, again, the first of the books, Living Superfood Longevity. The most recent book came out in 2023, an update and extension of that book. It wasn't the same book. No, I do not repeat myself, even though parts of it did overlap, inevitably, when you're talking about something like life expectancy. But the second book came out 100 plus lifespan. Strategies to increase healthy life expectancy. 2 other books that I definitely do include in this life expectancy extension series would be Living Superfood Life to the Max, also from 2023, and then from 2021, Furiously Vegan. So those are a few of my contributions to healthy habits that extend lifespan. So that is our subject today. Now, I'm going to show you a little comparison. I'm going to show you hopefully inform, inspire you, excite you about my methodology for these subjects, these topics. I'm going to share with you research that I pulled today I began with an AI search engine, and then it led me to a number of different sources to which to answer this question about extending our life expectancy. So the inquiry, I asked this of 3 different AI search engines, and they all returned the exact, almost the exact same return. The question was looking for share a comprehensive list of lifestyle habits that contribute to extended life expectancy. List the average life years gained from each. Now, I didn't add these average adds up, but I think one of them, the first one I'm going to read, did add them up. Based on the provided search results, here is a comprehensive list of lifestyle habits that contribute to extended life expectancy, along with the average life years gained from each. Now, I'm going to share this with you, and then in just a few minutes, I'm going to take you to my list that I have comprised. And I'm going to ask if you can detect a distinction, a difference between these 2 lists. So, hey, let's get into this. Brave search engine, which I really highly recommend the Brave browser. To those of you who use other browsers, Brave is, in my opinion, much superior to Chrome for protecting our privacy and also cutting out the advertisements that increasingly Chrome is being criticized for. Based upon the search results, here's a comprehensive list. Point number 1 on the list, physical activity. Regular exercise, aiming for more than 150 minutes per week, can extend lifespan. Even small amounts can help. Average life years gained, 2 to 5 years. This is from, and most of these are taken from a few different references. This one is from Habits to Form Now for a Longer Life and 8 Habits for Longevity, 2 different books. Point 2 on their list, healthy diet. Eating a balanced diet, and I don't like that term balanced diet. Eating a balanced diet, focusing on whole foods and avoiding processed items contributes to longevity. Average life years gained 2 to 4 years. And from 2 different references, 8 healthy habits that may add 24 years to your lifespan, and 5 healthy habits that may increase life expectancy. Next, non-smoking. Quitting smoking or never starting can significantly increase life expectancy. Average life years gained 10 years. Point 4, maintaining a healthy body weight. Avoiding obesity and maintaining a healthy weight through a combination of diet and exercise can contribute to longevity. Average life years gained 2 to 4 years. Number 5 on the list, moderate alcohol consumption. Drinking in moderation. That's like that word balance. Balanced diet, drinking in moderation. I don't like those terminologies because they allow for an ambiguity, as if there is no definitive research. Is it is or is it ain't? Moderate alcohol consumption. Drinking in moderation. 1 to 2 drinks per day for men and 1 drink per day for women may have health benefits, but excessive drinking can negate these gains. Average life years gained 1 to 2 years, and it's shared couple of references, the same references they're using throughout this whole thing. What gets me is this: they say 1 drink per day for a woman. But what if that woman is pregnant? She gets no alcohol. So how can one say it has health benefits that are not to be extended? These health benefits are not to be extended to women who are pregnant. You see the contradiction there? And there's far more than just that. I point out significant contradictions between the idea of alcohol consumption and healthy lifespan. Let's go forward. Going back to the list, I think we are up to number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the list. Stress management. Effective stress management techniques, such as meditation or yoga, can contribute to overall well-being and longevity. Average life years gained 1 to 2 years. Point 7, good sleep hygiene. Prioritizing adequate sleep, 7 to 9 hours per night, and maintaining consistent sleep schedules can support overall health and longevity. Average life years gained 1 to 2 years. Point 7, positive social relationships. I think it's point 7 or point 8. They didn't numerate, they just have different points. Positive social relationships. Nurturing strong social connections and building a supportive network can contribute to mental and emotional well-being, leading to increased life expectancy. Average life years gained 1 to 2 years. And lastly, freedom from opioid addiction. Avoiding opioid addiction and seeking treatment, if necessary, can significantly increase life expectancy. Average life years gained 2 to 4 years. Note that these estimates are based on the provided search results and may vary depending on individual circumstances and overall health. Additionally, it's essential to remember that adopting multiple healthy habits can have a cumulative effect, leading to greater life expectancy gains than any single habit alone. And of course, that makes perfect sense. It's almost one of those duh. One of the articles that was cited in that, as well as the other search results that I was looking for today, is from Medical News Today. 8 healthy habits that may add 24 years, that was a cumulative, to your lifespan. Now, here's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to share this reference with those of you who are in the audience today, who are paying attention. I see Paul Cruz is in the house. Alafia, Brother Kitty. We need to catch up soon. Yes, we do, Brother Paul. I hope you know my email address. You can always reach me, Keidi, K-E-I-D-I, at chefkeidi.com. That's my email address. I'd love to hear from you. Let's catch up soon, Paul. We got to do the best we can to continue to do the best that we can, my brother. Going forward, I'm looking at this article from Medical News Today. I'm going to put this reference up for my Facebook family so they can have access to the references we're using today. And 8 healthy habits this is from medicalnewstoday.com. And I'm going to put this reference up on the the Rumble page, where I see Tunk from Snake Creek is in the house. Ankh Uja Seneb. Beautiful. I love that. That's a beautiful greeting. Ankh Uja Seneb from Ancient Kemet. Thank you for tuning in. We love you in the family today. Let's go forward. We're talking about extending your life expectancy, extending my life expectancy too. And wait till you see my list. But I'm going to share with you, I'm going to give you my list. I'll give you a hint. Of the 3 different searches I found, one, I just shared the one from Brave, AI search, and it shared 8 or 9. I can't remember if it was 8 or 9. I did this research also on Ecosia, and it shared, I think, 10. And I did this research also on Microsoft's Copilot, and it shared a total of Microsoft Copilot shared 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the highest I got was from Ecosia, shared 10. And the others overlapped completely, so they were taken from the same source, from this article, Medical News Today, written by Beth Jojak, July 2023. Researchers, here's some of the highlights. 1, 2, 3, 4 key points in the article. Point 1, researchers find that people who adopt 8 healthy lifestyle habits by middle age could live substantially longer. Point 2, some of these habits included having good sleep hygiene and not smoking. Point 3, highlight number 3, men who adopt all 8 habits by age 40 would be predicted to live an average of 24 years longer than men with none of these habits. And point 4, women who adopt all 8 habits by the age of 40 would be predicted to live an average of 23 years longer than women with none of these habits. Now, I'm going to read from this for just a little while. New observational study identified 8 lifestyle habits that, when adopted by midlife, may extend an individual's lifespan. And here, bear with me here. I want to increase this text just a little bit. I'm writing a new book, and when I'm writing a new book, I'm on the computer all day long, so my eyes get a little bit of exhaustion by the middle part of the week, but I'm getting good writing done. So it'll be well worth the investment. Plus, I'm using my herbs and things to keep my body as healthy as possible. The researchers used data from medical records and questionnaires from 719,147 enrolled in the Veterans Affairs Million Veteran Program, MVP, a health research program centering around more than 1 million U.S. veterans, and is designed to help researchers study how genes, lifestyle, military experiences, and exposures impact health and wellness. Xuan Mai Thi Nguyen, a health science specialist at the Department of Veterans Affairs and 4th-year medical student at Carle, Illinois College of Medicine, presented the study Monday at Nutrition 2023, the flagship annual meeting of the American Society for Nutrition in Boston, Massachusetts. The 8 identified habits are: 1, being physically active; 2, not smoking; 3, managing stress; 4, maintaining a good diet; 5, not regularly drinking alcohol excessively; number 6, maintaining good sleep hygiene; number 7, maintaining strong, positive social relationships; and number 8, not developing an opioid addiction. The data used for the study was collected between 2011 and 2019, featured U.S. veterans between the ages of 40 and 99. Over 30,000 participants died during the follow-up. We looked at all-cause mortality in this study using Cox proportional hazard regression models and longevity using a multi-life table method, calculating the longevity for male veterans and female veterans separately, Nguyen explained. Or Gwen, I guess it would be. It's a Vietnamese name, Nguyen. I think it's pronounced Gwen. Veterans who adopted all 8 habits had a 13% reduction in death from any cause compared to those who adopted none of the habits. The study found, repeating from what I said earlier, that men who adopted all 8 habits at the age of 40 would be predicted to live 24 years longer on average than men who adopted none of these habits. Women who have adopted all 8 habits by age 40 would live 23 years longer on average compared to those who adopted none. The take-home messages: veterans who commit to moderate change toward living a healthier lifestyle during middle age may prolong their life expectancy. Gwen stressed to Medical News Today the researchers found that low physical activity, opioid use, and smoking had the biggest impact on individuals' lifespan. During the study period, these habits were associated with a 30 to 45% higher risk of death. And it goes on and on. Just in summary, the study was the first time we looked at physiological lifestyle factors and their association with life expectancy in the Veterans Program. And again, that was MVP, and that MVP stands for Military Veterans Program. And the article goes on. I did put up a reference to that article, and I encourage people to get the reference, take a look at it, and see if it relates directly to you. I'm going to share with you now my comprehensive list. Now, my comprehensive list, as you all know right now, I'm a little bit, not obsessed, but I'm very thorough in the research that I do and the things that I come across and the things that I share that would contribute to healthy life expectancy. And just double checking here. So I'm going to put this link up in the chat that was the article that I just shared from Medical News Today. I am not going to be sharing my proprietary list right now. I'm still keeping it rather close to the chest, even though you will hear me speak about it from time to time. And you should always be making notes when you listen to this program or similar programs from researchers that do cutting edge health and wellness research, or whatever aspect of life that you are developing, you are transforming. Do take your notes and make sure that you get the greatest benefit possible from your efforts. Now, going forward, I do see someone spamming. So deleterious. Anybody familiar with crypto? No. And I'm sorry about that. That's not allowed. I'm going to delete this message, but if you do it again, I'll delete you. Okay? So no spamming on my chats. Please, people. We're here for a specific reason, not to have you use cheap guerrilla methods to try and increase your business on someone else's initiative. You know that's not cool. That's not cool at all. If you do it a second time, you get banned from my Rumble page. Going forward, here we go. The Kitty's list. That's what I'm looking for. I've got my list up on the table. And I'm going to pull from my list right here. I call this longevity factors and average life years gained. Again, I did 3 AI searches today asking this question of these longevity factors and average life years gained. All 3 of them returned the same 8, and one added 2 more. Let me see if I can find the one from Ecosia that added the 2 more and give you that distinction. Because if they did add 2 more, well, hey, give them respect for that. Ooh, do I have it up? I may have closed that page thinking that they were just repeating. Here, let me do this. I can do that same search again one more time. Bear with me. This is worth waiting for. Looking for comprehensive list of lifestyle habits that contribute to extended life expectancy and the average years gained. And so going to Ecosia, open this in a new window. Let's open this in a new window. And I'm going to put the search in here, hit the search button, and then ask for AI chat. That's how I do it. Ecosia is a wonderful search engine. I highly recommend it. And they listed 10. Let me go through their 10 real quickly. Number 1, regular physical activity. 2, balanced diet. 3, maintaining a healthy weight. 4, not smoking. 5, moderate alcohol consumption. 6, regular health screenings. That wasn't on the other ones. Number 7, strong social connections. Number 8, stress management. Number 9, adequate sleep. And number 10, mental stimulation. So they did add mental stimulation. That's cognitive input, cognitive wellness. That's a good point. And they also added regular health screenings. I can't disagree with that as well. So good job, Ecosia. I'm going now to my list. And I may have to add one or more of those to my list. Let's see what I've got up. Longevity factors. And I rank mine from the least number of years gained to the greatest number of years gained. Number one, supplements. According to a broad base of research, using nutritional supplements, multivitamins and different herbs and things, adds 0.8 years life expectancy. So that's average of 0.8, that's 5/10 of 1 year. Number two on my list, and all of these do partially overlap, but not necessarily. Number two is nootropics. Nootropics are a class of nutrients, and they could include supplements, but they also include a significant amount of foods and beverages, nutrients that stimulate mental, cognitive, brain functioning. Using nootropics, and in the book in the book 100 Plus Lifespan, which I'm pulling off the shelf as I speak here. In the book Living Superfood Lifespan, we talk about nootropics. Let me just real briefly give you an update on what you should know about nootropics, page 90. And I love this book. This book is so comprehensive. 100 Plus Lifespan, page 90. I'm listing the total list that I make in the book of life expectancy extending strategies, habits. And in my book, I list 106 of them. Number 90, no, not number 90, on page 90, number 92 is use nootropics, nootropics, substances that are shown to boost brain power, sometimes called cognitive enhancers or memory enhancers. Pharmaceutical companies are pursuing these as prescription and over-the-counter medicines, yet our strategies greatly favor non-drug, nutrition-based alternatives. These can include caffeine or creatine, but preferred substances include turmeric, mahuang tea, phenibut, theanine, sunflower lecithin, and vitamin C. Nootropics. So very good. Nootropics should add 1.2 years, average years gained in life expectancy. Number three on my list is non-alcohol. They said moderate drinking. I say avoid alcohol because it is a neurotoxin. So non-alcohol, according to my book, 1.3 years of life expectancy gained by avoiding alcohol. I quit drinking alcohol, and they said, according to the research in Medical News Today, they said adopt these habits by age 40. Well, I say the earlier you adopt them, the more you will guarantee extended life expectancy. Now, if you are 45 or 50 years old and you extend your life expectancy over average by 24 years, then it naturally follows that the same habits that you were adopting at that age that would have extended your life expectancy by, say you're 48, and you take on those 8 habits they talked about, and it gives you an extra half of your life again. So 48 plus the average life expectancy would have been 74.6 years anyways, but you're gaining half of that 48 by adopting those 8. Well, then how about if you are at age 20 and you adopt these habits earlier? Naturally flows, you're going to get more years gained in life expectancy. So, and do I mention alcohol in the book? I don't really spend a lot of time on alcohol because I haven't drank in so long that it's kind of hard for me to even imagine that other people do that. I'm serious. Alcohol. Do I mention alcohol? Yes. On what pages? Page 26, 46, 51, 53, 56, 57, 58, 59, 81, 97, 112, 118. Let's go to page 56 and see what I say about alcohol in the book, page 56. We're talking about under the chapter entitled The Complex Biology of Aging, the subchapter Insufficiency of Replenishing Nutrition. And I mentioned alcohol a number of different times. Let me see if I can find this first reference. This is a good chapter too. I make no ambiguous statements about the appropriate food for disease prevention and rapid recovery from disorders. On the contrary, the diet I recommend as optimal for healing is the same diet for disease prevention and the ideal base for daily and seasonal nutrition. These inconsistent authors will talk about consuming known toxic agents like alcohol, carcass food, quote unquote, anything of dead flesh, highly refined foods, fast food, and sugar toxins in, quote, moderate amounts, unquote. So yeah, if you consume a tiny amount of known poison, it likely won't appear as harmful. So consume twice as much if you dare. And that's just the first reference. Again, I'm talking about alcohol on all of these pages. On the next page, 57, from 56, given that logic, if one were to consume 2 days worth of 4 days worth at a time, that would begin to demonstrate the poisoning side effects of alcohol consumption. It follows that they are promoting the idea that taking a known neurotoxin daily in small doses is complementary to ideal health. That's a load of crap. I quit all alcohol consumption in August 1986. That would be almost 37 years ago. However, I miss nothing about drinking beer, wine, and whiskey. Nothing about that feeling of being neurologically imbalanced. So I go on. This is a good chapter. I'm going to stop reading here, but I do talk about alcohol over the next couple of pages. In fact, talking about the human brain and nervous system can receive, transmit, and process unbelievable amounts of information each second. So then I start to compare the human brain without alcohol and marijuana compared to the human brain's functioning, speed of function with alcohol and marijuana. And there's a huge difference. It's like a supercomputer. Would you rather have a supercomputer with 8 megs of RAM and a processor at 1500 megahertz? Or would you rather have a supercomputer with 32 megs of RAM and 3,300 megahertz operating speed? You would prefer to have the more powerful mental computer. Then that's why I do not drink alcohol and smoke marijuana. That's just the facts. Going forward, we're on my list, number 4, managing stress. Managing stress adds 1.5 average life years gained. In the book Living Super in Paradise, pages 11 and 12, I talk about the impact of mental stress and environmental stressors and encroach upon our healthy life. Well, we need to have strategies. We need to identify those sources of stresses. And I think I mentioned a total of about 37. And then we need to have strategies for managing any or all of them. Number 5 on my list, detoxification. And we are just 4 days away. Today's the 18th, 19, 20, 21, 22. On Sunday, we will begin our next Living Superfood Group 21-day detoxification fast. If you've never done it before, you are highly recommended to start this practice as early in your life as you possibly can. For me, the best times to do it are the first days of the seasonal change. So we are about to have the first day of autumn, September 22 coming up. That's going to lead us into the most dangerous season of the year, and that's the winter season, when most people die suddenly from sudden cardiac arrest and or stroke and accidents because they're drinking and driving and doing all other kind of things. So you may want to get this habit into your life as soon as possible. Plus, a lot of people gain weight over the winter time. Well, by engaging in quarterly seasonal detox, you come out of the winter season healthier than everybody. When everybody else is going to be gaining 2 to 4 pounds that's going to stick around year upon year, you might come out of that winter detox fast 6, 7, 8 pounds lighter than you went into it. Come on, people. These are brilliant habits. So detoxification adds an average of 1.5 years to your life expectancy, according to search engine results. Now, wait till we get to my specific detoxification fasting strategies. Again, I'm listing these strategies here the way I got them, and from the least years gain to the most years gain. So we're up to number 5, detox 1.5. But that's not the living superfood detox, which I'll give you a hint. 112 days a year, that's 4 times a year. I do 28 days. That's a total of 112 days a year of detox fasting with a living superfood methodology adds 15 years of life expectancy. If you want to just do the regular detox that AI finds, and it's hard to kind of tell what that is, I encourage you to do something. Everyone, if you can you imagine hanging out with somebody who never cleans the inside of their car? They wash the outside, they wax it, it looks great. You get in, and it's got all this junk from the junk and crap and whatever, all dirty inside the car. Come on, you're not going to live like that, people. Let's go back up to the top of the list. I'm going to speed up a little bit. Number 6 on the list, sleep hygiene, meaning getting proper sleep in. Sleep hygiene means sleep hygiene means doing it right. Sleeping in a good environment, a non-stressed environment, not exposed to high levels of electromagnetic frequencies and electromagnetic radiation and noise pollution and light pollution. Good, high quality sleep is called sleep hygiene, adds 1.7 average life years gained. Number 7, sunlight. Getting 15 minutes daily of outdoor activities where you get sunlight on your skin. The best time of the day to do it is between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. when the sun is at its apex. Getting sunlight adds 15 minutes, or at 15 minutes daily, adds 2 years average life years gained. Number 8, fasting. Now I presume they're talking about the type of fasting that you would encounter with the religious fasts, the Daniel fast or the Ramadan fasts. Fasting adds 2 years average life expectancy gain. There's a number of different strategies out here on fasting, and I'll be talking about this further in this very same list. I have a whole book on this, and did I have that book in here? No, the book is on the other shelf. But fasting is definitely something you do want to add to your longevity protocol, which is why we do 4 group fasts a year, 21 days for the group fast, and then I do 28 days 4 times a year. We gotten up to number 8. Number 9 on my list, superfoods and adaptogens, according to the search engine results. Superfoods and adaptogens add an average of 2.5 life years gained. So we're starting to get into some pretty significant numbers now, gaining these life years. 2.5 added to the 2 plus the 2 plus the 1.7 plus 1.5 plus 1.5 plus 1.3 plus 1.2.8. I guess I should be adding these together. I actually do by the end of this list. Number 10, avoiding drugs, illegal and pharmaceutical drugs. Avoiding drugs. The others said avoiding becoming addicted to opioids. Add 2 years life expectancy or 5 years life expectancy. I think they said that gained. I'm going to agree with that, but at the same time, what about being addicted to prescription pills? Such as I've known people who are on 3 different hypertension drugs, when it's a known fact The diet and lifestyle transformation can eliminate hypertension or reduce it so significantly you don't need the meds in 4 days, 5 days, 7 days, 14 days, 1 month. But people on 3 different medications for years, that's abusive. That's patient abuse, if you ask me. So, avoiding drugs, illegal drugs, and pharmaceutical drugs adds 2.6 average life years gained. Number 11, referring back to fasting, intermittent fasting, which is a daily fast. To stop eating at 6 p.m. or 8 p.m. in the evening, and then don't eat again until, if you stop at 6 p.m. and then eat your breakfast at, say, 8 a.m., then that gives you a period of 12 hours. No, that's 14 hours. 6 to midnight is 6 plus 8. Yeah, that gives you 14 hours of intermittent fasting. For me, I stop eating generally at 8 p.m. and do not eat my first meal until after 12 noon. So for me, my daily intermittent fasting period is about 16 to 18 hours pretty consistently. So I'm getting great benefit from intermittent fasting. How many life years do we expect to gain from intermittent fasting? 3.1 life years gained. Number 12 on my list, raw foods. Consuming as much as possible of raw foods, enzyme-rich, vitamin and mineral uncompromised by cooking. Raw foods add 3.6 average life years gained. That's not a bad investment, is it? Just by getting into the habit of eating a beautiful salad, a colorful salad. I made a salad this weekend. We had, not this weekend, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we had our Living Superfood gathering. And let me show you this salad that I made. And in fact, I'm going to take you through the event, if you don't mind, just real quickly, if you're on my viewing broadcaster right now. And I want to say thank you to everybody tuning in to the program to see. Ethnic Dreams is in the house. I see you in the You Now family. But here is, I'm going to present this screen and share with your screen this salad that I made. Window salad. There it is. Share that salad and put that on the stage. Now, this is what I'm talking about. When we're talking about a healthy, nutrition, healthy salad. This salad, it has in it, from the very top, clockwise, it's got tomatoes, fresh tomatoes in it. Everything in here is uncooked. It's got tomatoes. I see cucumbers, raisins, walnuts, bell peppers. It's got chopped apples in it. It's got radishes in it. It's got avocado in it. It's got beets in it. And it's got, of course, a bed of salad greens underneath all that. It's got probably sunflower seeds in it as well. Walnuts. I put the walnuts in, didn't need the sunflower seeds. But if I don't have the walnuts, use sunflower seeds in it. Raw sunflower seeds, raw walnuts. That is a salad. That is loaded and is made not with store-bought dressing. I do not like and I do not use store-bought salad dressings. Nope. They're too much fat, too much sugar. And, they've also got preservatives in them. They got to be put preservatives in it or else it won't last on the shelf. So I prefer to make my salad dressing right there on the spot. And people always say the same thing. Keita, your salad dressings are the B-O-M-B, bomb diggity. That's what I'm talking about. So going forward, some of the other dishes we had that day included, for dessert, we had the pomegranate cheesecake on a nutty crust. This is a group of people who showed up. Brothers, can you imagine me surrounded by all of these women, these beautiful women showing up to have dinner with us together? Yeah, that's how we roll. There's Chef Keita in station putting these dishes out and explaining to everybody what we are about to feast upon. We had a pretty good feast. And that's how we roll around here. And we're serving the people doing the best we can. If you're in Las Vegas, the first Saturday of October, October 3rd, we're going to be doing it again. And just drop me a note or a message or text me at 702-580-0662. And you can have a chance to join our gathering. These are a collection of photos that I gather in my living. This is how I eat every day. In fact, some people have said, Katie, we want to eat like that. We want you to come by and stop and pick up the meals. I encourage people to prepare it yourself at home. But if you want to stop by and pick up the meals, fine. We'll work out a deal. But just a daily, this is what we do on a daily basis. Black bean soup. We have plantain, a linguine zucchini dish, as well as fresh made coleslaw. Just everyday dishes. This is how we eat. We love the color. This is from the previous place where we were hosting our dinners. And this is what a first Saturday spread looked like at that point. And now I'm building back up to it. I think this last first Saturday we had about 24 dishes on the table. This one here is more like probably 32 or so dishes. That's how I roll. And on that note, and this is who we roll with. Beautiful people, healthy, vital, longevity people. You can see standing next to your brother in this photograph, our beloved Queen Afua. This was her Earth Day solar return celebration. She was in Las Vegas, and so we prepared a feast for her. And she brought all of these beautiful, beautiful sisters into our home, and we had the most wonderful time. Food is nature's most perfect medicine. Food is nature's most perfect medicine. And medicine ain't never tasted like this before. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, let's go forward. We are continuing. We're talking about Keating's longevity factors and average life years gained. We got up to number 9, 10, avoiding drugs. We did that one. Intermittent fasting, raw foods, 3.6 average life years gained, being socially networked. The other studies mentioned this one as having strong relationships. Being socially networked adds 3.7 life years gained. So when we talk about, you saw all those pictures of those beautiful people showing up for our feasts. That's what we're talking about. Being socially networked, being in an extended group of people like that. I know, and I have people like counsel that who are just completely isolated. And then, these problems come up with a chronic health, and I tell them as I'm listening, I can see you're isolated. You're going to have to open up your home, have people in your house. You might be embarrassed right now because of your illness or disorder, but that's how you overcome the illness and disorder. You must open up your life to new possibilities. So people do get in the habit of hanging out. My brother Keenan is in Las Vegas this week. In fact, I'll probably see him today. As well as one of our beloved guests who was with us at our last event we had here, Dr. Weems, came by and just spur of the moment, spontaneous, said, hey, this was on Sunday. I said, well, hey, she was coming by to pick up a couple of books that she had bought that were out of my stock, and so I had to reorder them. So she came by to pick them up, and he was in town saying, hey, Katie, I'm in town. You and me need to hang out together. So I said, well, come over for dinner. So they came over for dinner. I got in the kitchen, just spent a couple of hours, and we had a wonderful feast. We had a wonderful, delightful feast. That's socially networking. That adds 3.7 life years gained to our life expectancy. That was number 13. Number 14, 3.5 hours daily of physical activity, he says, as he stands up and just twists the spine, works the lower end just for a second here. I can do some up under the table while I'm doing the show. Quite often I'll do my toe stretches, which you do those, get in the habit of doing those toe stretches. Toes always stretched out and then all the way up and then all the way out and all the way up. If you do 30 of those, I do 100 at a time. That will eliminate edema, the pooling of liquids in the bottom part of your legs and your feet swelling. So now your shoes will fit better. So 3.5 hours daily of physical activity. Now that's a good bit, but that's not always just exercise. No, just physical activity. You sweeping the floor, vacuuming, that's physical activity. Moving furniture, just physical activity. If you're going to be watching TV, find a way of standing up and watch TV. Put your hands on the back of the chair and do some knee bends or whatever. 3.5 hours daily of physical activity adds 4.5 years life expectancy. That's a pretty good chunk. Now, many of us now working in computer careers, and we're at a desk or on phones all day long, and we get cheated. We get cheated out of physical activity. But we can overcome that cheating. Going down the list, number 15 is one of my favorites. Weight and body mass index, weight and BMI. By optimizing your weight, by crafting your body mass index to be right in the middle of the green zone, is going to add 5 years life expectancy. Being in the green and not getting into the yellow or the red or the red or the redder. Being in the normal range or not being in the under normal range. Inadequate weight. By being in the normal zone, and mine, I try and target mine right smack in the middle of normal. Right now, I measured myself yesterday, not this morning, even though today I expected to take off a pound from yesterday. But yesterday was the heaviest I've been since my last detox fast, and that's 7 pounds over right in the middle of the BMI normal range. And for me, 7 pounds still has me well within the normal range. But I like to have mine perfectly right in the middle of it. And so 5 years, average years life expectancy gained from managing your weight, checking, measuring, and knowing and calibrating your BMI. And a lot of people won't do this. They'll give excuses for not doing it. But if you were to ask me, I would always going to recommend know your weight and your body mass index. That adds 5 years life expectancy gain. Number 16 on the list, regular consumption or supplementation with omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3 fatty acids, from which your body manufactures very critical hormonal compounds that extend your life expectancy, brain function, and all of these. But you can get these omega-3 fatty acids. Some people get them from fatty fish, but I do not eat fish because I think that the fish supply system is horribly contaminated and is also carcass food. I don't do carcass food. Death in, death out. It doesn't work for me. But for those who do eat fish, you can have fatty fish such as salmon and mackerel, sardines. But better sources that are not contaminated, as the modern fish supply system is problematic. Better sources would include seed oils such as olive oil, flax oil, or hemp seed oil. Would also include things like walnut oil or walnuts, pecans, cashews, oily nuts, oily seeds. All vegetables have fat in them, and from which omega-3 fatty acids can be derived. So omega-3 fatty acid supplementation, you can take it in capsules. It could be fish oil, which is made from rendered fish, from processing plants. That's probably, that's where the toxins are going to accumulate in that kind of situation. Or you can get krill oil, which is going to be much, much cleaner, much more expensive too. But omega-3 adds 5 years, average years gained, avoiding metabolic syndrome, avoiding overweight, abdominal obesity, hyperglycemia, hypertension, avoiding progressive nephropathy, avoiding disruption of your gut microbiome, avoiding high triglycerides, imbalance of your blood lipids, avoiding cancer. These are talking, avoiding non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. These are all metabolic syndrome diseases. As we understand them and we have a deliberate plan to avoid them, we add 5.5 average life years gained to our life expectancy. So just in those last three, avoiding metabolic syndrome, supplementing with omega-3 fatty acids, and weight and BMI management, avoiding those last three adds an extra 15.5 years life expectancy. Just those three. We still got the best ones yet to go on my list. Anybody out there talking to me? And let me double check. Going back to my list, I see deleterious once again did exactly what I said you're not going to do on my page, and you are now blocked forever. You are blocked forever. You're gone, knucklehead. For Africa One says, so Tep, Brother Keedy, and Global Family, great to have you in the house today, beloved, from United Kemet, always in the house. And I know for Africa One, if anybody out there listening to this program today is aware of and adheres to, follows the protocols for extended healthy lifespan, you are one to do it. My beloved sister, I can't wait until we can get together again. She's in the UK. I'm in Las Vegas. Get together again, dine together. We're going to have another one of those great community feasts that we love to do while I'm on these road trips like the UK. We're going to have a great time. It's going to be a family affair. It is. It's going to be all of that. Going forward, great to have you in the house today, beloved. Going forward here, we are continuing. I am sharing my list and comparing my list to medical news today. Now, they gave us 8 habits. They said a cumulative of all 8 of them adds 24 years longer than for men, 23 years for women. I am saying that my protocol doesn't necessarily separate men from women. It brings us together because ultimately we complement each other. We support and embrace each other. We've gotten up to, that was number 16, is avoiding metabolic syndrome. Number 17, optimize gut microbiome. Yes, that's optimizing the function of our gut. And that means eating lots of fiber. That means avoiding antibiotics. That means avoiding antibiotics and avoiding antibiotics because they're pushing them things everywhere. That means don't train wreck your internal digestive system and enjoy the benefits of an optimized gut microbiome. That's actually 2 of the strategies of our 11-stage seasonal detox program focuses on the gut microbiome. So that one adds 6 years life expectancy. So just in these last 4, optimized gut microbiome, avoiding metabolic syndrome, omega-3 fatty acids, and weight and BMI management, just those 4, along with the exercise, gives us more than they gave in their 8. But now we're just getting to the good ones. That's number 17. Number 18, eating fruitarian. Now, this is not eating fruitarian all the time, but it is eating fruitarian quite a bit, to the point that you can say, yes, I practice the fruitarian dietary lifestyle. By eating fruits only, especially going into and out of your detox period, your fasting period, eating only fruits adds 8 years, average life years gained of life expectancy. And in the book Miracle on 2 Feet, I list you the 8 fruits that reduce the risk of stroke and cardiovascular disease. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Well, 2 apples a day is even better than. Apricots, peaches, grapes, dark colored fruits, berries. Oh yeah, you need to know these things. Number 19 on my list, vegetarian. Now, I have conflicting reports, but this is one specific set of inquiries I did this day to create this list. Adding vegetarian to our lifestyle adds an average life years gained of 8 years. So fruitarian, vegetarian, very complementary. But vegetarian in this society means you're also consuming eggs and dairy, which are not vegetables, but you know, this is what America does. So being vegetarian adds 8 more years to your life expectancy being a vegan, according to this search. Now, here, wait a minute, I'm back vegetarian, because the research I put in my book, Living Superfood Longevity, talks about, there's a chapter, Do Vegetarians and Vegans Live Longer and Why? And I not only did this for humans, but we did this for species. One of the earliest chapters in the book, I think it's chapter 2, is entitled Longevity in the Animal World. And in comparing in the animal world, the meat-eating animals compared to the herbivores, in every class, the herbivores lived longer. If we looked at the largest land-based mammals, that would be the African elephant, lived longer than the polar bear by a significant margin too. I do have the comparisons directly in here. And the same was true for reptiles. The Galapagos tortoise lived significantly longer than the African crocodile. The same true for birds. The same true for savanna species. Comparing the giraffe to the lion, the giraffe had a significant longer life expectancy than did the lions. And so therefore, the same is true for human beings, that humans that eat vegetarian, fruitarian, and vegan live longer than the others. Number 20 on the list is vegan, because over vegetarian, the vegans gain 1 more year. But wait a minute. The study that I put in Living Superfood Longevity said for a vegetarian to go an average of 17 years and then stick to the vegetarian lifestyle added 12.1 years life expectancy. That was in that earlier study. Recently, for the latter book, I updated all of these, and I'm using the updated numbers. The number for vegetarian was 8 years, and for vegan, 9 years, average years gained by going vegan. That's not bad at all. Now, from my research that I put in longevity, the vegan got a bump of 17 years. I think it was 17 years, average life years gained over the standard American diet. Number 21 on this list, maintaining a positive mental attitude. That is it overlaps with combating stress, which added what? Combating stress added 1.5 years. It's also partly overlaps with being socially networked, which added 3.7 years. But by consistently maintaining a positive mental attitude, on my list, 9.7 average life years gained. Consistently maintaining a positive mental attitude. You know, laughter is good for you. Laughter excretes endorphins into your body, which help the mind-body matrix, all functions, improvement. So yes, maintaining a positive mental attitude. I'm around so many people who are just constantly expressing a negative perspective about what's happening in the world. I was in a conversation recently with a group of Pan-Africans. And these were all elders. These were all baby boomers. And we were talking about the world and what we see, what's happening in the world. And I was listening to the other ones who were all responding to the same set of questions. And I noticed how so many of their responses were all negative. Negative, negative, negative. And my responses emphasize not just the positive, but the reality, the positive reality, what's really reshaping the world. And that's what I think we really need to be focusing on. We need to be focusing on what is really changing the world and how we can be in charge. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Those famous words from the poem Invictus. We all should have that readily in our hearts and in our mind. I am the captain of my soul. I am the master of my fate. That went on the list, the positive mental attitude, 9.7. Number 22 on the list, as obvious, quit smoking. That did make the others list as well. Quit smoking or never smoke in the first place. Add 10 years life expectancy above average. Not above average, above the smokers who are taking 10 years off. 23, caloric restriction with quality nutrition, caloric restriction. Now we're getting into the science, the biological science at this point. Caloric restriction with quality nutrition. See, we can have caloric restriction. You're throwing up every time you eat, or you're bulimic, or what's it, anorexic. That's caloric restriction. That is not healthy. That's going to shorten your life expectancy. But if you reduce the number of calories you consume while supporting your nutritional inputs of your 8 critical classes of nutrition by eating superfoods and keeping your body clean and everything, that's going to add 10 years, extra years, life years gained to your life expectancy. We're up to number 24, an optimized diet. Now, for me, an optimized diet, I use the search engines to look for this. AI search engine, and they came up with 10 years, average years life gained with an optimized diet. They didn't say whether that was fruitarian, vegetarian, or vegan. They didn't say anything about superfood. They just said that an optimized diet gives you 12 years, average life years gained. That was the same number that I got from Living Superfood Longevity book on 17 years or more being vegetarian. Number 25 on my list is a vegan organics nutrition. Now, again, I gave these instructions to AI search engines, and it gave me back average life years gained from a vegan organics nutritional lifestyle, 13 years average life years gained. Number 26, water fasting. I didn't specify any particular periods or how often to do it, just water fasting, 15 years, average life years gained. Now, that's one of the strongest you're going to get. Simply water fasting. We are about to begin our next Living Superfood 21-day detoxification. Now, everyone is going to do it. Your detox is personalized and customized to you. Some people have never done it before. For those people, it might be better off to start your fast, initiate your fast with several days of fruitarian, just strictly fruit. That way, when you get the cravings, when you get the hunger, when you get those drives and desires, you can satisfy it. Just get you some grapes, get you an apple, apricots, bananas. Just eat fruits. And your body's going to know it's cleansing, but your body's also going to be able to say, hey, listen, I can work with this. It really does work. But you have to try it. You have to initiate it. You got to stick to it. Don't make me mention names, because I know who's out there who is and who ain't. I do know. So that is, but I'm talking about water fasting. We're going to initiate ours with a minimum. I'm going to encourage everybody to do a minimum of 3 days water only. Some people say, well, I got to work. I got to work. I say, well, you can do it around your work schedule. Start your 3-day water fast on Thursday after work, and that'll take you through Thursday to Friday. No, start it, Thursday after work, because you're not going to be getting sick from not eating, not on the first day. After the second day, you do have to start, a few caution flags go up. But if you start that on a Thursday, then Friday, 1 day complete, Saturday, next day complete, Sunday, next day complete. Or you could do it so you stagger it so that you finish in your 3-day water fast at 8 a.m. on Monday. So that means you started at 8 a.m. on Friday, you have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then on Monday morning, before you're going back to work, you can have yourself a nice, big, beautiful fruit salad with raisins and walnuts and different fruits all chopped up in that salad. Squeeze some lime juice on that. It is incredibly delicious, incredibly energizing, and it's full of nutrients to get your body back on track. Some people say, well, I can't do a water fast because I don't want to be peeing at work and this and that. And I say, well, you can come up with 100 different reasons why you won't change. You only really need one reason for why you will and you do change. And that one reason, whatever that reason is, may be logical, it may be emotional, it may be sentimental, whatever, but you only needed one reason to succeed. And that's where I'm coming from. Positive mental attitude. So that takes us up to number 26 is water fasting. No, yeah, that was water fasting. Number 27, 112 days a year of detox fasting. That's what I am about to begin. I get my 112 days in. I may not go all 28 days with not eating anything, but all 28 days of the detox fast, I am cleansing. I am cleansing. And that's a critical issue. So 112 days a year of detox fasting adds 15 years to your life expectancy. Water fasting adds 15 years to your life expectancy. And the other ones on this list. So just with those two, we've gotten more than all of those on the Medical News Today article. Just in those two, we've gotten 30 years. They do overlap significantly. So combine all these in the living superfood lifestyle matrix. Average life years gained, 51.4 years. Average life expectancy gained. In the United States, average life expectancy at 74.6 years. Add to that 51.4 years. That now takes you to 125.4 years life expectancy. You know what my plan for life expectancy is, and I've been very consistent? 126 years. So I just described to you how I'm doing it. Me not joke. We're serious about these things. But I'm strict on it. I measure my weight every day, at least 5 days a week, and I calculating my body mass index. The last time I weighed yesterday, I was a little bit heavier than what I planned on being, but I know I'm right on the verge of another detox fast, so that works out just well. Because I know that within the first 3 days of water only, and I probably for this detox fast, I'll use my weight kind of as a gauge of how long to go, but I probably will go 5 days to maybe 7 days of water only. So my body mass index, I measured it yesterday. My weight was a little higher. It's 7 pounds more than what I weighed at age 25. Now I'm age 69 and calculating, I'm 5'8.5" tall. My body weighed in at 152.2, which puts my body mass index at 22.8, which is in the 2/3 level of the green zone. So staying in the green is where we're getting our optimal health, no doubt. Mine is 2/3 up in the green zone. I prefer to have it, my weight, at 145 pounds, which is what I weighed at age 25, now 44 years ago. That puts my body mass index at a perfect 21.7, right smack in the middle of the green zone. Not too low, not too high, right in the middle. So therefore, that would have me taking off 7.2 pounds. Psh, that's about 3 days of water fasting. We're going to talk more about water fasting as we're getting into this detox fast. I'm going to encourage each and every one of you to join us. Join us. The autumn equinox detox fast begins this Sunday, September 22 at 1:43 p.m. GMT. See how precise we are. As is our regular yearly routine, I am again leading a 21-day group detox fast. If you are familiar with my process, I aim to make this the most comprehensive detoxification among the broad range of selections being offered by health and wellness leaderships. Hey, I'm acknowledging there are other people doing this, and some of the other people doing this are pretty doggone good at it. They are. Now, how good are you and I at it? That's what we need to be determining. How good are we intending to be? So this is about to begin. Let me hear just real quickly. I want to post this up for those of you following along. So Living Superfood Systemic Detox offers 11 distinct levels and procedures for completely cleaning and rebooting our internal systems. Let's join together in collaboration and cooperation. We aim to claim perfect health for the season ahead. So you can learn more at, and I'll put up a link here for our YouTube family. I am broadcasting on my secondary YouTube page, even though the first YouTube page, they started acting a fool again already. They started acting a fool again already. But I encourage everybody out there to join us. Get your body right. When you know your body's right, your mind is going to be right. When you know your mind is right, then your spirit's going to be right. And when you know your mind, your body, your spirit are right, then everything else just kind of falls into place and allows you to maintain that healthy life perspective that we were talking about a little bit earlier. This is not rocket science. No, it is rocket science. What are we talking about? This is rocket science. This is you being a rocket. Now, the summer equinox detox fast begins. I'm putting up that link for today's promo. Those strategies that extend life expectancy. I put up a link to lsfdetox.com. It stands for Living Superfood Detox.com. lsfdetox.com. That's a HTTP. And you let me know if you want to join us. If you want to be a beneficiary of being in total control of your life, your body, your mind, your spirit, then join us. You can also text me to join our various programs for health, wealth, and empowerment. And my text number 702-580-0662. Highly recommend hook up with your brother. Let's build together. Let's grow together. Let's learn together. Let's create a reality, a paradigm shift, massive, transformative purpose. My candle is lit. I have the torch, the flame of eternity, of sovereignty, of development. I stand upon the shoulders of many, many, many giants who came before me. Many giants. And the next generation, if we do right what is in our power, then the next generation will be standing upon our shoulders ever closer, ever closer, ever closer to the stars, building for eternity. So I want to thank you all for being in the house. I see you in the house. Tunk from Snake Creek. Yes, sir. Africa Rising. We got next. He knows me. I like to say that every day. Africa Rising. We got next. That also includes the African perspective on health and wellness and longevity. In the book 100 Plus Lifespan, one of the appendices of this book is an analysis of the book by David A. Sinclair, Lifespan, Why We Age and Why We Don't Have to. Appendix 4, examining the bibliography for this book, you will likely be impressed with these entries from my library. In 2022, I read David Sinclair's Lifespan, Why We Age and Why We Don't Have to. Sinclair is a professor of genetics at Harvard Medical School and considered one of the most influential people in healthcare. He has won dozens of awards for his groundbreaking gene expression and longevity research. I found his book, co-written by journalism professor Matthew LaPlante, informative and inspiring. However, significant portions of the book were somewhat annoying to me. Two main points of disagreement for me centered around his challenged knowledge of nutrition, advocating that people only consume smaller proportions of known disease-causing acid-forming foods and alcohol, and Sinclair's complete devotion to the preeminence of pharmaceutical drugs as primary pathways to longevity. However, despite these fundamental disagreements, I do review his book, and I point out a number of points from his book that I think are significant and must be understood. And especially when he talks about sirtuins, just real briefly, one of the most powerful insights into how genetics and DNA expression guide critical cellular functions associated with longevity is Sinclair's focus on the function of sirtuin genes, among the book's most valuable insights. For those unfamiliar with these genetic circuits, here is a brief illustration using his words, quote, "To understand the information theory of aging, we need to pay attention, another visit to the epigenome, the part of the cell that the sirtuins help control. Sirtuins instruct the histone spooling proteins to bind up DNA tightly, while they leave other regions to flail around. In this way, some genes stay silent, while others can be expressed by DNA binding transcription factors that turn genes on. Every one of our cells has the same DNA, of course. So what differentiates a nerve cell from a skin cell is the epigenome, the collective term for the control systems and cellular structures that tell the cell which genes should be turned on and which should remain off. And this, far more than our genes, is what actually controls much of our lives." And so I think that that's a very critical lesson. I go on to talk more about the sirtuin circuits and some of the things that impact and affect them, such as our ability to adapt to temperature changes. That's a very important expression of sirtuin circuit and genome functions. So we do the best we can with what we get, always striving to get more so that we can do even better. If you've enjoyed today's conversation, can I get you to hit the like button on your viewing browser? And make sure you keep my text number handy. Do not call the number, text the number. If you call it without texting, chances are I will not answer it. But if you text me and say, "Hey, I want to talk," I'll say, "Hey, let's arrange to have a time to call, a time to talk in person." It's a good day. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Would you be my neighbor? That's why we're here every day on LIB Radio, LIB TV, and livinginblack.com. I was doing the evenings as well for much of this year, but then I stopped doing it because I thought that, some people say, well, your programs are so early in the day, the people in the East Coast can't get it in real time or whatever. And I said, okay, well, let me try the evenings. And just unfortunately, the audiences was just inconsistent. And it's a big sacrifice to me to prepare two distinct programs per day. That's a lot of work. So now we're back down to just 7 shows a week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But if you want to hear us in the evenings, you got to let us know. If you're listening to today's by playback, you'll hear me share my contact information, say, yeah, I like hearing the show live and being able to interact. Also, doing it in the evenings. If you don't interact at all, then why do I have to do it live? Think about it. If there's no interaction, no back and forth, no feedback, no sharing love, showing the fact that, hey, Kitty, I acknowledge and I appreciate the work that you're doing, the sacrifices that you make on behalf of all of us. And nobody has to pay. You don't have to pay to listen to this program. If you do support us, you do so because you know you are investing in something that benefits more than just you and me. So we're doing the best we can to do the best we can, always striving to get more so we can do even better. And that's why you tune in to your favorite. We aim to be your favorite. We are LIB Radio, LIB TV. We are livinginblack.com. Peace and prosperity to each and every one of you. This is a good show today. I hope you agree. Peace, y'all.